Good afternoon. Not sure. Oh, hello. I am live. Hello, everybody. Oops. Let me see what's going on with my lights. Lights falling. I haven't yet figured out how to get my lights to stay, but I will eventually. It's a lot of shadow, surprisingly. Okay, well, I'll do that. I'll work with that. Thank you for joining me today. I'm super excited to be here, as I always am every time I have the opportunity to speak with you. This is going to be a shorter video today because I really am hoping that you will join me in the mastermind community that I've started, and where I'll be doing live trainings every week. Almost every single week. The plan is to do them every week, but I'm sure at some points I might need a week off for other events and things going on. But we will be doing a live 90-minute in-depth training every single week in the mastermind community for authors who have joined my masterclass. And so today, what I'm talking about is the subject of the next deep dive training that I'm going to be doing in the mastermind community, which is writing press releases that are strategic and that immediately tend to trigger organizations that you want to have their attention, and you want them to be looking at you positively for sponsorship opportunities of your book, and for media exposure opportunities, and for joint venture opportunities. How do you write your press releases? This simple document, like you can even do your press releases. You don't have to buy press releases from a company and have them distributed online. I think it's a lot better to have that done, but it's not necessary. Like a press release ultimately is just getting the news out there. And so you can do it on something as simple as a Google Doc that you make public on the web. And that would become a publicly searchable document. Google SEO, it would have search engine optimization on that public Google Doc, right? That's how simple it is to distribute a press release to the entire world. Now, there's more benefit, of course, when you distribute a press release and it goes through an entire syndication network of affiliate media channels, especially of news networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox in the United States, plus Business Insider, and many other recognizable media channel names that have affiliate stations and affiliate channels. And each of those local regional channels also has their own website. And when you syndicate your press release to be syndicated through all of these other affiliate channel websites, it generates long-lasting Google search engine optimization for the keywords that are included in your press release. So you're putting up another piece of content on the web. This piece is not going just on your website or just on your Facebook or just on any one place that you own, but it's being syndicated out to 350 to 1,000, and sometimes they've seen even up to 3,000 syndicated affiliate channels of news channels throughout North America. So there's really strong search engine optimization when you send press releases. And one of the things that I've been doing for a number of years, which is why press releases for me personally are difficult to write, because it's not just surface information. The way that if you were to buy a book on press releases and believing that the way that press releases are written, have always been written, is the right way to still write them today, perhaps if you are the press relations officer for a large company and you're spending millions of dollars a year on publicity and PR, then yeah, maybe it makes sense to write your press releases in the old boring way that is just details, just the facts, short, to the point, and just the information. But the reason why when we put out press releases as book authors, we do it for a totally different reason. And the reason why we do it is because we want to develop and show authority on top of developing the search engine optimization, so that whenever anyone goes and searches Google for particular keywords like children's book author, I have someone in the mastermind group who is writing children's books that are based on Christian faith and Mormon faith. So you can use those type of keywords in your press release to ensure that whenever journalists, media channels, where they go to get their information, they go to Google. They go where we all go. So the whole point, the reason why we put our press releases up on Google is because now when journalists are searching, they search the same place for information that everybody else in the world searches, which is on Google. So you put your information up on Google, and then when journalists are searching for the particular keywords that they're searching about, that they're searching for more content, and they're searching for experts and expert opinions and challenging opinions, because media channels want to show all sides of the story, and they want to show one opinion on this side and one opinion on this side. What happens when you put it out there on the web to all the media channels, they'll go searching for children's book author, Mormon books, or Christian faith-based books. And hopefully, once you've put out enough content with those keywords associated with your name and your book, which your book title and your name doesn't have any Google search engine optimization attracted to it, because people won't be searching for the keyword of your name in any large volume. And you want to be using keywords in your content, in your press releases, in your marketing content, everywhere. These keywords what are the words that people search when they put into Google, right? So this is the important thing about thinking about your keywords. You want to do a lot of Google searching to start. You want to start by searching Google your own name. Start by searching Google your book name, your book title. Start by searching Google your competitors' names, not competitors, but colleagues, the other book authors that you want to partner with and that you want to work with, that if they were to mention your name for an opportunity because they're double booked, that you would be like, oh my God, I can't even believe it that this big name person wasn't able to attend an opportunity and they sent the opportunity to me, right? So there's all sorts of ways that you can trigger attention. And the key tool is using Google Alerts. So when you set up Google Alerts, when you start doing your searching for your name, your book title, your keywords, all the things that you want to be alerted to when any news channel is writing an article about books in your category, about authors in your category, about authors who have personal elements to their life that can be connected to any other large group or organization, any other audience that exists already, right? Every organization has email lists, especially large organizations. They all have email lists. They're all doing email marketing. They're all collecting emails, as you should be as a book author as well. And they're looking for stories of their clients who are succeeding in their lives because of the impact that they've had on their clients, right? So there's an opportunity when you're putting news out in your press releases, there's an opportunity for you to strategically decide who are the organizations that you want reaching out to you as the book author and saying, hey, we heard about your best-selling book. And, because you have such a great history with us, because you were our customer, you are our client. You have a great testimonial story that you can tell us, and you're succeeding in your life in part as a result of the help that you got from us. You have the opportunity to mention them in your press releases. And because knowing that they're spending a lot of money on Google search engine optimization, they're going to most likely be using Google Alerts. And when you mention their name, and especially even more powerfully, if you include a link to their website from your press release, and then it gets syndicated out to 350 to 1,000 to even up to 3,000 news sites, you're putting their name out in a positive way to 350 or 1,000 affiliate news channels, right? So they're going to see, Google Alerts is going to send them a message saying, hey, somebody put out a new piece on the web, a new piece of information about you on the web, and they're going to go click on it and look at it, and they're going to go, this is interesting. This might be a story that we can share to our email list that will empower our email list, our prospective clients and our clients to use our service and our product more, because of the success that this person, this book author, is having in their life, even indirectly associated with you. And I've done this a number of times, but this really just happened in the last week again, with a press release that I wrote for a client. And I always encourage people, when you're writing a press release for yourself, always of life, who are the organizations that you've paid the most money to? Could be your car dealership, could be a private investment, like an investment banker, could be a real estate agent or agency, or very likely a university or professional organization. Right. And these organizations have a vested financial interest in finding stories that exist in their customers, in the history of their customers. They have a vested financial interest. They're spending millions of dollars to have these stories written, to make these stories up and say, wouldn't it be like this for our customers? But when you can give them the real life testimonial and say, I used your product and your service, and now look at the success that I'm having in my life. Yes, it's not directly related, but still I, as the author, can say, thank you to my university. Thank you to my university program. Thank you to a particular professor who inspired me and showed me something that I never could have seen, that helped bring me to this place where I am now as a successful best-selling book author. So when you issue your press release, especially if you're issuing your press release announcing that you have become a bestseller, and you strategically mention organizations like the university that you graduated from, even if the program that you graduated from was not at all related to what you're doing or to your book or your expertise, they still have that financial interest to take a look, at the very least, to take a look at your press release and to think, where can we weave this story into our marketing so that it encourages prospective registrants of our program to take a deeper look at us, to think, if I join that program, I might become a best-selling book author as well. And so what can happen very often is they'll get triggered by Google Alerts when you write about this organization, very often schools, because they have hundreds of thousands of people on their email lists, and everything about schools, their whole financial foundation, especially universities, is about getting people to register. They don't market how much you have to study and work and apply yourself and find other opportunities. They really market themselves based on try to apply, try to be accepted. And once you're accepted, attend, and your life will be the end result, right? So they skip through all the hard work and the money and the maybe it won't work for you, blah, blah, blah. And they say, if you get accepted into our university program and you follow through, and then they're showing these stories on the other side of success. So I want to encourage you to try writing your press releases, or even just try writing a press release. If you've never issued a press release for yourself before, go onto Google Drive, open up a Google document, write a press release, include a bunch of links, include a video, include a picture, make a headline, include a section that is about your book, include a section that is about the author. Make sure that you include at least a minimum, but also, not too many links, but I would say 5 links to other websites. That would include Amazon, where your book is for sale, because you do want people to see your book is available globally on Amazon. Even if you're unable to ship internationally from direct sales on your website, you want to include your own website URL, that landing page that I talk about and that I'll be speaking about even more, a picture of you holding the book, all of these elements that when, for example, your university that you graduated from 25 years ago or 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago or 2 years ago, when they see that you're talking about you becoming a best-selling author on your press release, the opportunity that can happen is they're going to reach out to you and say, we'd love to share your story across our media channels. And that's what happened with my client. In the last week, last month, we sent a press release announcing that she had become a bestseller for her children's book, something that I'm happy to say I helped her achieve. We issued the press release, and within a few weeks, and she didn't quite understand what I was doing when I said, because this was a press release that I had written for her, that I was writing. When I said, what university did you graduate from? And what program did you graduate from? And was there a particular professor or course that you took that you can see helped you get to this point where you are now a best-selling book author? And they reached out to her and said, we'd like to share your story of success about your best-selling book across all of our channels. Now, we know for sure that even just on their social media channels, we're talking about an exposure of approximately 300,000 names conservatively. I know many universities have well over 500,000, and even private universities, like not heard of known universities, but like private schools for niche education, will have 500,000 names on their email list, and they're emailing them often to nurture relationships with them, the same as we all use email for, and emailing out success stories of your clients, of your readers, emailing out your success stories to their audience is beneficial to their sales process and to their marketing. And it saves them money from having to hire someone to create that story or to go out and find the people who have the stories that they can then tell. So it saves them a lot of money when you do that. And all you have to do is think in your head ahead of time, who are the organizations that I want looking at my press release, that I want to be aware that I am a best-selling book author, that I've written a book that is aligned with their message and their purpose, the organization's message and purpose to their audience. You have a responsibility as a book author to get the word out there, to let organizations that you want to have as sponsors, that you want to have as supporters, you have a responsibility to yourself to let them know your book exists, because if you don't take the action, if you don't put word out there, nobody will know. You will remain invisible. And I want to encourage you to take responsibility, to take action, because the fact of the matter is you can change it. It can change in an instant. When your university reaches out to you and says, hey, congratulations, we heard about your best-selling book. We'd like to share your story across all of our social media channels, across all of our email list, across, perhaps in our marketing, in our course calendar for next year. We'd like to share your story. When they reach out to you and say that, you no longer are invisible. Now you have authority. Now you are being supported in your success every step of the way by your university that you graduated from 2 to 25 years ago, right? That is a shift. And all it takes is putting out a press release and thinking, it's not just about me. It's about my audience, and what do they see if they happen to be searching the keywords and my press release comes up top and they click on it. You don't just want them reading about you. You want them reading about other organizations. How did you get there? What are the organizations that helped you? Who are other organizations? Even if you have no association with them whatsoever, if you have no association with them whatsoever, it doesn't matter. Google search for that organization issuing content that is aligned with your message. So, and again, the example is, I did this with my client just a few weeks ago. The subject, the message within her book is that it's a good practice for families and for children to prepare for disaster situations, so that children especially can have more sense of calm and more sense of peace instead of anxiety about foreboding situations. And so what we did is we included a quote from, the name is just out of my head at the moment. My client is probably watching and typing perhaps in the comments, live viewer comments. I can't see the live viewer comments, so I would have to be looking at my post, which I don't even know where I'm live. So it was, it's one of those organizations that everyone has heard of. And they always issue medical stuff, and they do a lot of like cancer research and addiction. And the name that's coming to mind is Myers-Briggs, but that's not at all. That's a completely different thing. Anyways, the organization, I was able to find a really great quote from the organization saying why it's so valuable and why it's so important for people to be preparing with their children to have a horrible situation occur, but for children to have more of a sense of peace when you're prepared. So that bad things happen and it's difficult to prepare about them, but you can, and what it does is it means that whenever anyone's reading about your press release, when they're reading about your information that you're putting out there, they see, okay, you're a bestseller. And this particular organization, this big name organization that me, the reader, really trusts and says, yeah, that makes sense to me. When they're saying that the message within the book is also important, you're encouraging, I think part of the reason why her school wanted to pick up and share her story was because we also had this large organization quoting why it's important to be preparing for disaster situations, which is the same important message that's inside of her book. And so her university saw that and went, that is really important. That's also aligned with our particular message because her university is Brigham Young University, which is a Mormon-based university. And so it makes strategic sense for them to talk about you and for you to provide them with the information, because there are hundreds and thousands of, if not millions of books every year. There's no way for individual organizations to know about your book unless you put it in front of them. And they want to know. They want to know about it. Like, don't be afraid of rejection. You might get rejected, but don't be afraid of it. Because the only way that you will get the exposure that you're hoping for, the only way that you're going to find yourself being more visible and not feeling invisible anymore as a book author is to really start putting it out there. Now, I'm going to be going much deeper into this subject. I'm going to be taking you from start to end, how to actually write your press releases and issue them so that you get the type of results and the type of authority that I've spoken about here, where you can have large organizations reaching out to you saying, congratulations about your book. We'd love to share your story across all of our existing channels and to our existing audiences. And this is how you also generate sponsors. This is what a sponsor is. A sponsor says, we love what you're doing. We want to support your actions and your efforts even more. And your effort is to get word out there about your book. So they're sponsoring what you're trying to do. So I will be going deep dive into this. I have my masterclass mastermind community. The masterclass will be running January 9th, which is Saturday at 12 noon Eastern time. It is a 2-hour masterclass plus at least minimum 30 minutes of Q&A for everyone who shows up live and all of the community members who send in their emails and questions ahead of time. We address in hot seats and Q&A at the end of the training. So I'm going to do a deep dive beginning to end, how I write strategic press releases that generate attraction and that give you the authority that you want in my masterclass on Tuesday this week at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Right, so I'm going to do this 90-minute deep dive plus Q&A for the students who are there. You have the opportunity now to join the community, to join the mastermind for a full year for all of 2021. Get in as soon as you join in December, and you're not just going to get 12 months until the middle of next December, you're going to get the full year. So December is your bonus. And I'm telling you, the price is going up. So if you're interested, I have the price is just barely above what my Black Friday was, price launch. And I have this really special bonus, which with my Black Friday offer, it actually, I just realized actually the price is actually lower now than my Black Friday offer was. So for Black Friday, I had the masterclass at $197 plus $127 for the press release. But now the masterclass price has gone up to $297, which is really still not that bad. But you get the full year community mastermind community membership, which is a private mastermind community. And I'm dedicated to answering every single question you have about book publishing or promotions. I will be doing weekly deep dive trainings for the students within that mastermind community and dealing with their hot seats. So we're going to be actually implementing, taking action and getting results within that mastermind community. I encourage you to join me. It will be an amazing year next year in 2021. Like I said, for the moment, the price is $297 plus $1 for the next 10 people who sign up for the masterclass, $1 to have your press release sent and distributed across the syndicated networks for authority that I use. So I have a press release credit. If you're interested in joining the masterclass, if you're interested in getting deep dive training every single week on how to write your press releases, on how to start a show that attracts celebrity influencers to your content, on how to prepare for becoming a best-selling book author and how to leverage your title once you are a best-selling book author. If you want to join me every single week for deep dive training for authors and entrepreneurs about how to increase your authority immediately on a budget, you will never get a better price than now. The price is definitely going up next year. In after December, the price will be going up for 2021. It will most likely also become a monthly membership. Not that you can just come and go, but that you pay every single month to participate in the mastermind community. So for right now, the total cost for 1 year participation, 12 months in 2021 of working with me directly to improve and establish your foundation, improve your authority, increase the influence that you have, the confidence that you have to go out and put your book out there, and be confident that when you reach out to people who have large audiences, the likelihood is they're going to say, yes, I want to talk to you more. And that's all that you can ask for when you're working so hard to put word out about your book. If you're interested in learning more about the masterclass, I want to encourage you to join me. Like I said, I'm going to do this deep dive training on press releases, how we write them from beginning to end. This is going to be the training that will be in my course later that I'll be issuing. So you can join me for the live development of my training of how to write and issue press releases that capture attention. That will be 6 p.m. on Tuesday Eastern Time live. That is 3 p.m. Pacific or 4 p.m. Mountain Time. I do have a couple of book authors who I know will be attending that live training with me and Q&A. And then if you join the mastermind community after the live stream has happened, then all of that training already exists. So you have the opportunity to join me live at the lowest price you're ever going to see. I've never done group training for low cost before. I've exclusively worked with individual clients one-on-one. And never really trained groups on how I do what I do. So this is the lowest price opportunity you will ever get to work with me. If you're interested, if you want to find out more about what's included, what my commitment to you individually and to the group is, just send me a DM. And I'll be happy to chat with you. There will be, like I said, the press release opportunity. You will get a press release if you sign up for the masterclass or mastermind community. If you send me a DM and ask about it and decide to sign up. If you're within the first 10 people who sign up for the masterclass and to work with me through all of next year, you're going to get your first press release credit for free. Right? Or actually, I think it's $1. It's $1 so that I could get the order bump through on the funnel. But if you want that $1 back, I'll send it to you back. No problem. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me today. I've definitely gone over my time planned, but I'm really excited to see people watching and joining and interested. I want to encourage you to draft a press release and put it in the free group. If you put your press release drafts in Google Docs up on the free group, I will audit them for you. I will give you suggestions. I will talk you through how to write your press release. And then if you're in the free group and not in the mastermind group, but you're interested in having me issue the press release for you, just send me a DM and I'll help you with that as well. So, I'm not certainly on issuing press releases. I'm not pushing that you need to be sending press releases through a paid service. I think it is valuable to do so for a low cost when you can. I know that there are many paid subscription services. Hi, Stephanie. No problem. You're definitely not too late. I'm super glad to see you as well. There are, like I said, I'm not pushing paid press release services, but I do know that there are press release services that the traditional press release services, I know from my own experience as a marketer and professional marketing professional as an employee. In the past, I was issuing press releases for my employer, and they were costing $400 and $500 for me to write them, and literally for them just to get issued online. And so if you're really broke and you want to get some publicity and you want to start putting out press releases and start developing search engine optimization and start triggering strategic companies' Google alerts to be aware of you and your book and your successes, you can even, like I said earlier, do it on Google Docs. Set the Google Docs to public. Yes, it does not look like a traditional press release. Yes, it doesn't have all the fanfare appeal. But I have seen big influencers issuing press releases in this way. And what's wrong with it? There is nothing wrong with it. Right? So it's only if you want the added, if you have the extra $100, if you have the extra $200, depending on the platform, if you have the extra $75, like prices range for press release services. Depending, if you have the extra money at the time and you agree that it's going to help your search engine optimization, or that you have a particular organization that you really want to trigger their Google alerts as much as you possibly can, as soon as you possibly can, then I think that's a good reason to be using the press release service. But otherwise, I still want to encourage you, even if you're not going to buy any of my, you're not going to buy into the mastermind group. You're never going to hire me. I'm too expensive. That's fine. Do everything as cheap as you possibly can. That's how I did it. That's how I got started. I had no freaking money. I was working as an employee for way too little salary. I had no extra money. I was working evenings and weekends on my own stuff. And my very first press release that I sent out in 2006 for myself, I literally wrote the press release, and then for 2 months, every night when I came home from work, I would sit at my computer and individually, one by one, I would email media editors a copy of my press release in the email body. I wouldn't attach it because I didn't believe that they were going to open up attachments at the time, especially not PDFs. And so I would write my press release in the body of the email and individually sent it out to about 300 different editors over a period of months. And I ended up getting national press exposure worth about $100,000 at least. I had exposure in our national newspaper in a full-page article, along with a photo shoot. And I actually, I'll show you the proof. Here's the article that was written about me, and that's me on a yoga mat with one of my clients. And what I was doing was yoga for golfers. And yeah, I enjoyed yoga for golfers, but what I was really doing was testing, how do I write press releases and get exposure for myself in media channels when my history is to be buying media for millions of dollars and having a budget. So of course, media channels want to sell to me. They want me to pay money, but now how do I get exposure in media for free? And so I learned how to do it just by writing press releases in a strategic way. And even if you have no money at all to hire someone to send them out. Now, what I did in 2006 to get that national exposure was months and months and months and months and months and months of effort. But then once the national newspaper picked me up, then I had probably half dozen local regional magazines that either interviewed me, wanted me to write articles for them, took quotes from the National Post article and wrote about it. Because the season, I was a Yoga for Golfers instructor, and the National Post wrote about me in March at the beginning of golf season when the golf show was in Toronto the same weekend. So they put all of the thinking of society and marketing and advertising together in the timing, and that it snowballs. So you don't need to have a budget to establish your authority. But it will make things easier. When you spend a little bit of money on a press release, it can save you months and months and months and months and months of effort. And that effort can go into other things like writing your next book, like spending time with your family. Like you are a book author as a business. You are in it to make money. And time is money. When you spend your time, you are spending your money. So I want you to think about what the opportunities are. Stephanie, I'm so glad to see you. I want to talk to you a little bit more very soon. And thank you, everyone. I really want to, yes, Stephanie, you do need to get started on your Yin Yoga book, and I want to help you with that. I've known you for a very long time, so I love having two Stephanies on my life. So let's talk about that as well. If you can, send me a DM. Oh my God, Yin Yoga. I need that so much right now. I need some hot Yin Yoga so bad right now. Finally, I just want to encourage you, join me on Tuesday if you're interested in deep dive. I'm going to take you from beginning to end how I write strategic press releases that get attention, that get media exposure. Probably the truth is, I bet a lot of people would disagree with me in a lot of ways. Oh, that's why. A lot of people would disagree with me in a lot of ways because the way that I write press releases is not traditional. It is not the standard way. It is not the best practices. It's my best practices, and they work. So I want to show you all of that from beginning to end. I want to make sure, yes, Sabrina, I'm looking forward to taking you through it as well. Sabrina's in the mastermind community. She's one of the book authors. Yeah, Stephanie, thank you. I mean, I'm even looking at joining one of the yoga studios. I saw Danny teaching for Moto Yoga, and so I'm probably going to be buying a Moto Yoga membership because I can't practice alone. I'm like everything, like yoga is one of those things where we know it's so good for you. It's so healthy, but it is so hard for me to do it alone. I became a yoga instructor in 2004. And that's how I got, the national press exposure was I was a private yoga instructor, just trying to build some exposure. How do I get clients to know that I'm here, to know that I'm doing this? And when I started getting the press exposure, I got clients contacting me. There were golfers saying, yes, I need yoga for golfers. I want you to come to my home and teach me golf. Now, the thing is, but just like your book, it's that much more difficult to do alone. It's that much more difficult to complete. And you are 100% capable, 1,000% capable of doing it. But it will be easier if you have someone taking you through an established system, if you have someone coaching you, if you have someone encouraging you, if you have someone literally rolling up their sleeves and helping you do the work. And that's what I'm doing in the mastermind community. That's why I'm so excited about it. It's not just a masterclass. What I launched for Black Friday was just a one-time, one-off masterclass. It's evolved into so much more. I'm making so much of a bigger commitment to these authors who are joining the community. We're going to be doing amazing things through next year. So I want to encourage you to join me. Send me a DM if you're interested. I can send you the link. And like I said, it's only the first 10 people that are going to get the free press release. After that, the press release is $127. When you're in the community, your press releases are $97. They're discounted prices within the mastermind community. If you call me directly, if you're not a member of the mastermind community and you want me to write and issue a press release for you, where you're not writing the draft, you don't have to watch my 2-hour training, the price will be probably closer to $500. So it's all about time and ease, right? So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. Namaste. And I will see you again next Tuesday. Next Saturday. Next Saturday at 1:15 p.m., where I'm going to be talking about establishing your authority so that you have large media channels, influencers, and other authorities coming to you, to your content, sharing your content with their audiences. I'm going to talk all about how I establish celebrity content, celebrity interviews and conversations that will get the attention of media channels, that will get the attention of other influencers, that will capture the fascination and creativity and inspired mindset of the potential sponsors that you want to have your own book and your own business be aligned with. That will be the next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Deep dive training will be the authority. So come back here Saturday at 1:15 p.m. I will be talking about the deep dive authority, and then again pushing you over to the mastermind community for the real deep dive, beginning to end. I want to make sure that you walk away from that training fully inspired with step-by-step instructions. Okay, this first, then this, I know where I'm going, and here's my outcome. And I want you to have quick, fast wins. When I launched my own authority show, it was 3 episodes before I had a big celebrity book author asking me to be a guest on my show. And from there on in, I had nothing but celebrity guests every single episode for my show. So I want to encourage you, get active, stay active with your book. I'm going to be here in the free community, training you, giving you inspiration and ideas every single Saturday afternoon, except for the Saturday on March 9th when I'm doing the mastermind. Then hopefully I will see you in the mastermind, and then in the community for the year afterwards. And you can ask me questions about your book anytime you want in the community, and I'll have answers for you, or referrals to people who have the actual answers if I don't. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week, and hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time in the mastermind community for the deep dive training, beginning to end, how we write press releases. And every single person who's in that training also has the press release credit, because you get it when you join the mastermind community. You get the press release credit. So the very first class we're going to do how to write your press release, and then you have the credit. So we're going to get your press release sent out so that hopefully even by this holiday season, you have changed your authority and you are feeling more visible and more confident. Okay. See you soon. Thanks everybody for watching.